What's going on, guys? Quick knife video here. I don't want to call this a review. I'll call this just my thoughts on this knife right here. This is the Cold Steel Voyager Vaquero, as you can kind of already see. For those of you familiar with Cold Steel's product line, this is pretty much the same specs as their regular Voyager line. Difference in the Vaquero model being the shape of the blade. Has the upswept Arabian inspired curvy blade there. Now, I bought this knife a while back. I mean, I thought it was cool. I always wanted something from Cold Steel, and you know, I've had it for a while. I've carried it a bit, and I've decided to sell it. Figured I'd do the video before I sold it, because this knife just isn't for me. But I still think it's a quality product, and I just kind of wanted to share my thoughts on it with you guys. Now, first of all, for my everyday purposes, I prefer something along the lines of a liner lock where you have an easy one-hand operation, and I prefer tip-down carry. This is a lockback knife, Cold Steel's proprietary triad lock, which is a very sturdy locking mechanism. There's no play on this thing. I mean, this thing does lock sturdy. It makes it really feel like a fixed blade when it's locked open, but it's only configured for tip-up carry. Some of you guys love that stuff, I know. Personally, I don't. So after a while, I kind of decided that this knife just doesn't suit me. It's, you know, I carried it kind of in a, and I hate to say it, but kind of in a tactical role, kind of in a weapon use more than like an actual knife, you know, cutting stuff use. And in that sense, I mean, it's an intimidating knife to pull out on someone. And of course, they have, this is the large, they have the extra large, which is even bigger. I would really hate to see that knife get pulled on me in a dark alley. But again, for opening boxes, for cutting tape, for envelopes, for the kind of stuff that I think most people consider EDC uses, this knife is just too bulky, too cumbersome, you know, not exactly suited for those purposes. Now, it does have the nice stone-washed blade. See if you can kind of make out the finish there. It does look very nice. It's AUS 8 steel. Taiwanese AUS 8, as you can see, Cold Steel, Taiwan. Triad lockback, of course. I'm telling you, this thing is sturdy. When it locks open, I mean, this thing is not going anywhere. And if this seems a little awkward, forgive me, this camera setup isn't the best. But again, for those of you guys ever considering this knife, who've been looking at it, or just Cold Steel in general, I just wanted to kind of share my thoughts. Now, a lot of people are turned off on Cold Steel because of the way they market and advertise their knives. You know, some exaggerated claims, and you know, they do a lot of slicing and cutting and hacking on their videos, and some people just don't appreciate Cold Steel's marketing techniques. I kind of have to agree, but if anybody thinks that because of those marketing techniques they do not make a quality product, they are mistaken. This knife, this is a kind of a plastic, I forget what the material is. Let me look at the specs. I do have them here. They call it grivery, I guess, the material of the handle. It's some kind of typical, you know, fiberglass, plastic-y kind of thing. But while it's not G10, and while it's not like an FRN like Spyderco uses, this stuff, as you can see the pattern on there, is very grippy. But this knife is so lightweight. Take a look at it again while I punch up the specs. I have them on my phone, and the damn thing keeps, screen keeps timing out. But what's this thing weigh? 4.6 ounces. Closed, it's 5.25 inches long. It's the grivery. Overall length 9.25, blade length, and even 4 inches. And I'm telling you, if you barely use your knife and don't mind carrying something heavy, don't mind scaring the neighbors, this might be the knife for you. Personally, the deployment on the lockback for me, especially with the thumb stud, I find awkward. I really have to flick it out. It's not as fast as I'd like it to be. And one hand closing on a on a lockback just isn't, you know, it's not for me. I'm gonna have to figure out a better camera position. This is kind of awkward. But again, just kind of showing you the knife. Not the best review, I know, and for that I apologize, but there's a lot of reviews on these knives out there, but not too many on the recent model Vaquero, especially the large one. So I wanted to show it to you guys. Just to kind of give a size comparison, because I know a lot of people watch videos for size comparisons. Here you go, compared to a, let's see, let's make a little more space, compared to an Ontario Rat 1 and my ever trusty work knife, Spyderco Tenacious, just to kind of give you an idea. Tenacious to me is the perfect sized work knife. That's why it is my daily work knife and has been for almost a year. Ontario Rat 1, a little bigger, a little bulkier, but still a decent size, you know, well suited for a lot of tasks. This guy, bigger than both with the 4-inch blade. And again, not something a lot of people are going to want to or be able to EDC. But is it worth the money if size doesn't matter to you? Yes. The handle has a lot of grip. The knife is lightweight, and the lockup, I mean, there is no wiggle, there is no play, there is no reason not to trust this knife when you need something that will not give. Cold Steel's Triad lock has a good reputation, and I understand why. But once again, it's not for me. And really, that tip-up carry, that's a deal breaker. I really just can't get into tip-up. I've tried. For you left-handers out there, it does come with a clip. It's in the box because it's a different shaped clip if you want to clip it on the other side. So it does come with the other clip, so you can go lefty carry, but there is no tip-down option. And I don't know, man. Maybe not my best review, but just giving you my thoughts on the Cold Steel Voyager Vaquero. If anybody's interested in picking up this knife, if you don't mind the size, I think it's a good buy. It's solid, it's sturdy, it's grippy, and that Taiwanese AUS 8, pretty good steal for the price. I think I paid approximately $40 for this. So again, if you're in the market for something like that, I say go ahead and get it. But just remember, that blade isn't suited for every single task. It's kind of big and bulky, and your carry options are limited. So with that said, I'll get out of here. Hope you enjoyed the video, and stay tuned. There's more coming.